Alright guys, welcome to my Nell's predictions for WWE Money in the Bank 2015, which takes place this Sunday live on the WWE Network. Elle, how are you doing?
I'm alright, how are you?
I'm doing well, I'm looking forward to Money in the Bank. Is there any matches that you're particularly looking forward to?
I'm looking forward to the Money in the Bank. It's always like, I think, wowzer events or stuff the rest.
Stuff the rest. I think it is a great card. Like, on paper, there's so many good matches, and we've also got that big rematch between Owens and Cena, so I think that's a big one to look forward to.
Yeah, I'm certainly looking forward to that one, and I hope Cena gets his ass kicked.
I hope so too, I hope so. Especially after that clean victory last time out. If it happens the same way, I would absolutely love it.
Me too. I just hope he doesn't go like Super Cena and bury him.
Oh god, I hope not. That would be terrible. That's the awful way to go with it. Right, before we get to predictions, let's travel back 2 weeks to Elimination Chamber. Can't believe it was only 2 weeks away. So we're going to take a look at the previous predictions. Now, I only scored 2 out of 6, so I did awfully in this, which is why I've brought in Elle, so she's going to bring her expert opinion in this time around. As for everyone else, 572 people submitted predictions, but nobody was able to get all 6 matches right. So I guess that kind of just shows how hard it was to predict that card. But there was 76 people that managed 4 out of 6, so that was the top score. If you want to submit your predictions for Money in the Bank, you can do that at smacktalks.org/predictions, and then I'll score the results and post them on Monday morning. So let's not wait any longer, let's check out the match card and our predictions for Money in the Bank. So first up on the match card, we'll have the kickoff pre-show, which features King Barrett taking on R-Truth. And R-Truth, he's been a bit confused as of late. So he come out on Raw and he kind of thought he was in the Money in the Bank match, which was a really cool moment. I actually really enjoyed that. I thought that was really funny. How do you see this going, Elle? Do you think R-Truth's in with a chance, or do you think it's going to be the King reigning supreme?
I really don't know what the planning with Barrett, and I don't think anything would happen if he did win. But with the whole segment with R-Truth from Monday, I kind of think R-Truth could come out with a win and then somehow end up in the Money in the Bank match or something, hopefully.
Hopefully. I think that's what he's probably thinking at this point. I think he wants to get in there, he's conquered his fear of ladders, but he just seemed so disappointed. I felt really bad for him. He just walked off stage all disillusioned. I think he thought he was in the match. It was his big shot. He's never got it, and it didn't happen for him.
Well, he's got nothing else going on, so why not put him in the match?
Exactly, he needs something, and I think it's the same with Barrett at the moment. He won the King of the Ring, and I thought this was going to be the point where he kicks on, he goes to the next level, but for some reason he seems to be kind of floundering around, sort of, I guess you could say mid-card, but he's on the pre-show, so he's kind of dropped down from there as well. So it's an odd position to see him in. I thought being the King, you'd really sort of move on from this and go into the mid-card, and then hopefully start challenging for a title. But
well, it makes it even worse when you've got people like Neville, who he was up against for King of the Ring, who've like surpassed him and managed to get onto Money in the Bank and other feuds, and Wade Barrett's still like mid-card, as you say, if not possibly a little bit lower, especially being on the pre-show.
Well, that's the thing really, when you think about how the King of the Ring final went, and he beat Neville, and yet now he's on the pre-show, yet Neville's in Money in the Bank, so it doesn't make a lot of sense to me. I think we know why Neville's in there. He's in there so he can hit these high-flying moves, and I think he probably fits in the match more than Barrett does.
Yeah.
But it makes me wonder if maybe they've got something planned for Barrett further down the line, and they're just trying to kill kind of a bit time until that time comes around.
There seems to be some sort of curse with Wade. Like, he always gets these massive attempts and then something happens, like with his Bad News Barrett, and then he was injured. He never, like, seems to get this massive push. Kind of like when he was back in the Nexus, you think he's going to, like, soar ahead, and somehow he always ends up back at step number 1, you could say.
It's a case of that all the time. He's got some bad luck. So Mr. Bad News is Mr. Bad Luck at the same time. He's had so many injuries when he's picked up titles. And like you just said, the Nexus, I think that was really the time to give him like a world title shot. And
he
maybe
could have
have
been
him
really huge back then. But
I think they just missed the trick with him. I think that was the time for it. And he's now in that point where they don't seem to want to push him all the way. They'll push him halfway and then they'll pull him back. And it's just a repeating theme. It seems to happen all the time. So, your prediction for this, are you going to go with R-Truth?
Yeah, I'm going to go with R-Truth. Why not?
I think I'm going to disagree with you on this one. I think I'm going to go for the King.
So what the?
King Barrett. I don't know, I can't see R-Truth winning it. I think surely they've got something planned for Barrett, so a win, he's probably lost more matches since he become the king. So I think
he probably
actually
has,
needs a win.
He's like the jobber now.
He is. Like, so much for a king. He's a jobber. So you're going R-Truth, I'm going King Barrett. So that is match number 1 out of the way. The second match on the card, we'll see the New Day defend the tag team titles, and they defend them against the primetime players. So this is a match that I'm actually really looking forward to, because I think the tag team division at the minute, it's kind of on a roll. For so long we had so few teams, and it was just the Usos over and over again. And yet now we've got so many people coming through. We've got the Ascension, who totally bombed.
Yeah.
We've got the Lucha Dragons, who I think have got a huge future. We've got Harper and Rowan back together, and unfortunately we had Tyson Kidd get injured recently, so him and Cesaro looks to be on the sidelines now. So
such a shame as well, because they were possibly quite like the top tag team, technical wise.
They're such a good tag team. Like, I think Elimination Chamber, the match that they had, and all the tag team moves that they pulled off, they just work so well together. And I think they could have gone, like, the sky's the limit for them. There's so many different things they can do, and they adjust it for the people that they're going up against. Where a lot of other tag teams, it's always the same moves. So that was something that I really loved about them. So it's a big shame to see Tyson Kidd out of action again.
I'm just glad they didn't have the belts on them.
Yeah, that would have been devastating at that point.
I think that probably would have hit them a lot worse than how it's happened now.
I think the good thing about this is everyone's so behind them as a tag team. Like, even if Kid is out for a little while now, maybe that little break is a good thing, because then when they come back, then they can then push on for the titles again. And it's not like the same thing where they've just won the titles and dropped them and going to win them back. So it maybe takes them out of the picture. And because there's so many tag teams at the minute, it's kind of good timing, if you know what I mean.
Yeah, similar to the Usos, we'd kind of had enough of the Usos, even though we like them, but it just kind of happened at the right time. Nobody wants them to be injured, but we needed them to step back a little bit and let other people shine.
Yeah, I totally agree with that. I think that makes a lot of sense. As for the New Day, I think they're another tag team that's really come on. I think since they changed to being more of a heel tag team, it's worked out so much better for them, and they seem to be getting utilised in so many different ways. So they're not just sort of the tag team division. Like, the Authorities brought them in at times to like go up against certain people, and I like the fact that they're coming out and they're cutting promos now, and it just gets involved with the crowd, and it's like something different to what you see with a lot of other tag teams that just come out and wrestle a match.
I like the fact as well they've got the Freebird rule as well with the championship.
Yeah.
Where Xavier or Biggie or whoever can step in and defend the title. It brings like something a little bit more fresh to the tag team as well.
It does. It's something different, and it's good to see. It's something that I thought maybe they weren't going to do, but I'm glad that they have, because they had the chance to do that in the past and they've always kind of overlooked it. So it is good to actually see that in there, and you just don't know who's going to defend it. And then when we've got Money in the Bank and they're saying they're all going to win it, I can't quite see it working the same way. But it's good that they thinking positive, the power of positivity. So I think in this match, I don't know what outcome I really want, because I really like the primetime players, and I like it since they've been back together, because they've got some really cool promos, just like making the fun of every other tag team in the division.
Yeah.
So I've really liked that. I think they're a really entertaining team. And Elimination Chamber, I think Titus O'Neil
was a total beast. He was really on top form. Probably one of the standouts from the Chamber.
He totally stand out. And like, even though he stood out so much and he showed what he can do, all I can think of when I think back to Elimination Chamber is just him with his head through the chains. So that was probably not the best way to think of how it went, but he was such a beast in that match. And I think not only are they entertaining on the mic, but they've also got the skills to back it up. So I'd love to see them actually win it. But at the same time, I kind of want New Day to win.
I'm quite a big fan of New Day, so I'm hoping they do return. I don't think it's time for them to lose it just yet. They've still got a bit of mileage in them.
Yeah, I think that's the case with this one. I'm going to agree with you on this one. I'm going to go with the New Day for my prediction.
Good. You're on the right track.
Let's see if it stays that way. So the next match, it's Elle's area of expertise, so I'm going to pass this over to you, Elle. So we've got Nikki Bella defend the Divas Championship against Paige.
You say it's like my area of expertise. I've had the prediction wrong for the past God knows how many months now. I keep thinking Nikki Bella's going to lose the title, but no, she doesn't. So I kind of think she's going to retain. She's on 201 days as Divas champion, and I've kind of got the awful feeling that they're going to replace her with they're going to replace AJ Lee's reign, which you don't want to swear or cuss, but that's horrible.
You're not happy about it, are you?
No, I'm really not. I think the thing is with Nikki Bella, fair enough, she's good in the ring, but she's so boring on the mic, and half the feuds have had no real storyline.
It is. I totally agree with you, and if she does surpass AJ's reign, I think it's a huge disappointment, because AJ's reign, I look back at it and I think not only was it a long reign, but she accomplished so much. She set out to kind of change the Divas division. And
I think she really did as well. When people say, oh, she said this and that, she was going to change it, she really did. We were getting Divas in the main event slot and everything, and I think there's a loss at the minute without AJ Lee. Fair enough, we've got Paige stepping up a little in her shadow, but it's hard to compare, Nikki.
I think pretty much you've just hit the nail on the head there, because AJ did that. She's actually brought the focus to the division, and it was at a time where the focus wasn't there and people kind of overlooked it, where now you can say that people are actually watching the matches and they want to see what happens, whereas before AJ actually coming in and done that kind of wasn't the case. And at least with AJ's reign, you got the feeling that she did accomplish stuff, because not only was she cutting the kind of pipe bombs that she come out with, then the amount of people that she took on, all those different opponents, she went through the entire division, and then she literally had the entire division taken on at WrestleMania, and she could still come out on top.
I'm just at a loss, because, like you said, now the spotlight is on the Divas division. It's almost like WWE doesn't know what to do with them. I honestly can't think of a feud in Nikki Bella's title reign that she's had with substantial backing behind it. We had the Naomi thing, but that was kind of clustery as well. There was no real meaning for it, or just Naomi felt like kicking someone's ass and it had to be Paige and then Nikki.
Yeah, well, that was the thing. I thought when Naomi come in, then that was the point where they were bringing a different diva in, because to this point we've kind of had the same people over and over again, and when that happens you just want someone indifferent that kind of freshen things up. And if Naomi was to come in and win the title, then I think that would have done that. But not only did they not give her the title, she had her pinned in the triple threat match, and I think that kind of hurt her more than it would have Paige.
Yeah, I totally agree. I remember saying this on Twitter. The one who came out with the worst in that is Naomi. She had this whole tyrant thing going on with Tamina, and they just totally buried her, to be fair. I think Naomi was the only one who should have won that match. Paige, another one where something too often is a bit too much and it kind of gets stale, kind of like the Nikki Bella thing, but I'm just at a loss because I don't know where to go from here.
Well, that's the thing. I think if Paige wins it, I can't see it happening, but if she does, it'll be good, it'll be fresh, but not as fresh as it would have been if someone like Naomi won it, where it's someone that you haven't seen before.
Yeah, I totally agree.
The saving grace for me would be if Paige does win it, I think it would be an opportune time to bring up someone from NXT, maybe that she's got a past with, and then make something out of that, and it brings someone else into that storyline at the same time.
I would agree, but it seems the wrong timing.
Do you think the Bellas will stick around the title picture?
Probably. I honestly wouldn't be surprised if they surpass AJ's reign. I don't think it should happen. I don't think Nikki Bella's done enough for the division. I'll say she's a good wrestler and she's improved a lot from back in the day, but there's nothing for me that wow, Nikki Bella. I think Bree's kind of got that. She's pretty good on the mic, but in the ring I don't know, when she's a face, I cheer for Nikki, for Bree. Yeah. I can never really get behind Nikki for whatever reason it is. I don't know.
But I think the problem for me as well is they don't seem to know if they're going to be a heel or a face, because they've changed so much. It's all depending on who they're taking on. It's oh well, Naomi's a heel, so we'll be a face. Oh, but Paige is back, so she's a face. I guess we're the heels this time.
And I honestly thought we'd seen the end of Twin Magic, and then for some God knows reason, they decided to bring it back. That was just so corny as hell. They don't even look like each other anymore.
Well, that's the thing. It was like so half-assed as well, because when Brie actually come in, they'd done the twin magic. She didn't even bother to get out the ring. She was still like laying there, and it was like, well, come on, ref, are you completely blind? How can you not see this is going on? So yeah, I never understood why they'd done that again. I could get it before, but they look so different now. Like you can totally tell them apart, so it shouldn't really work. And even that attire, it was similar, but it wasn't the same.
Yeah,
So
I agree.
I think we need better refs at this point.
It kind of ruins what the Bellas have built themselves up over the past year. They've got like individuality, and they've both got like a different kind of gimmick or style going on, and then they go back to twin magic, and it's like, you've just kind of ruined all that work you've done to stand out.
Yeah, I totally agree. That's a really good point, actually. So
It's such a shame.
what would you say your prediction was? Like, what would you want and what would your prediction be? I'm guessing it's two different things.
See, that's the thing. I actually don't want either of them to win. I do love Paige, but I don't want her to win. But I'm going to say Nikki Bella's going to win. There's no reason for her to lose it.
I think I agree with this one as well. I kind of see Nikki losing it. And when you know that AJ's title reign is inside, I think everyone's kind of looking at that number and thinking, she's getting so close now. Even if they were to have her stop like a day short, then just keeping everyone sort of waiting to see if they do overtake it. I think that's probably what they're going to go for.
That would be the perfect opportunity. Have it one day. I don't know, like when it falls on, if it's a Monday or like SmackDown's on. But
That'd be really cool to check, actually.
Have Brie like turn on Nikki for all the crap she suffered. They'll probably never bring it back, but that'd be perfect. It'd be the perfect like comeback after all the abuse and everything.
I absolutely love that idea. That would be great if they'd done that. And like, not only would it just totally screw over Nikki and like keep AJ's reign intact, but it brings some resolution to that. And that's one thing that has really bugged us, the fact that they just kind of left it open. So I would love that. I would totally be behind that. You should book it.
Yeah, they should let me book everything, and everyone will cheer. Well, they probably won't, because the Diva fans are quite... It won't go there, but yeah.
Yeah, I totally agree, though. I think that'll be a great way to do it. So, yeah, I agree with you on this one as well. I think Nikki Bella for the win.
Yeah, I can't see it going any other way.
Okay, the next match that we'll have is for the Intercontinental Championship. So that's on the line as the big guy defends against the Big Show in a match that I think I'm probably going to struggle to stay awake through. So we've got Ryback, who's just picked up the title in the last 2 weeks away, actually, at Elimination Chamber. And I don't know what it is with Ryback, but I can't really get behind him. I think it's just like his wrestling style. Like, there's a lot of people that seem to be behind him now, and they're probably doing a good job of that. But to me, I think it more bugs me because he wasn't the guy I wanted to win the title. Like, my vision of the Intercontinental title was the wrestling title, and I thought when Daniel Bryan won it, that was the sort of route that they were going down. We did get a couple of matches where it was like Bryan against Ziggler, and they were really good matches.
Yeah.
And that was what I was kind of wanting for this title. So I had great matches for the belt. And then, especially with like guys from NXT coming through, then they could maybe challenge for that and would get the longer matches where they can just go all out. And I think Ryback, it kind of lets us down. And then kind of on top of that, bringing in the Big Show, it's like, how could you pick the worst opponent and have... I don't know, why are you giving with this on a pay-per-view? That's basically my little...
I honestly can't even answer. I think it's... I wouldn't say they're both bad in the ring. Like, Ryback has his issues and what have you. But there's no personality there at all. And something I watch wrestling for. I know it's obviously wrestling, but I love character and personality. And just the match card for this match, it just bores me.
It does. I think that's the thing with Ryback. He either a Ryback fan or he does bore you in that way. And it's like he's gone out and he's got RVD's singlet and he's looking like Goldberg, and it's like he's trying all he can. He's getting better on the mic, but
oh yeah, he's getting better, but
he's hugely improved. But for me, it's just like, I don't know, I'm still not behind him. Maybe it's like when he first come through and it's kind of hurt him still, and I've just never got over that.
They've kind of forced him down a few different alleys. We had him as the bully, the Heyman guy, and then with Curtis Axel, and nothing ever seems to really work out. And I probably think it has hurt him and like my trust in him as a character.
Yeah, well, that's the thing. It's something where one thing doesn't work, so they try something else, and that doesn't work. So, I don't know, maybe this is like really pushed him out there and just saying, well, you know, be the Ryback character, take away all this bully stuff, just be yourself, see if it works, and, you know, he has the title, see what you can do with it. And as far as Big Show goes, like, I know, like I say, this is going to be Ryback and Big Show, and it's going to be a bit of a boring match, but I did say the same about Reigns against Big Show, and that actually turned out to be a really good match. I think that a lot of the credit for that was down to Big Show. So maybe this could be better than I'm expecting. And I don't know. I still say it being a case of Big Show jobbing to Ryback. So I would say Ryback's probably the person that I'm going to predict to win it.
You never know though, you know, WWE like to do these random Big Show pushes, heel turns, face turns, whatever.
They could do. You could suddenly become a face in the match. You could probably be a face in the match and then a heel by the end of it.
Yeah, he might be like the World Heavyweight Champion by the end of the night, you never know.
He could be anything. He'll just chop and change. So what's your prediction for this? I
think really the ideal outcome is Ryback. It could be the making of him, like give him something to focus on and just run straight right forward with it. So I'm going to go with Ryback.
Yeah, hopefully he just runs with this and then hits like a big meat hook clothesline. So that, yeah, maybe this will sort him out. Maybe this is like the run that he needs, and then hopefully we'll come. Well, I don't know about hopefully, but maybe we'll become Ryback fans further down the line.
Yeah, I doubt it.
Yeah, I doubt that too. Okay, so the next match, this is one that I'm really looking forward to. I'm sure you're looking forward to this too. We've got the rematch, which is Cena against Owens. So this is a reason to stay awake during Ryback and Big Show. So this is one that everyone's talking about, is Owens actually pinned John Cena clean at Elimination Chamber, and that was probably the biggest surprise for me. So this is probably the match that I'm looking forward to the most, just to see how it turns out. And I think everything that's been done in the lead up to this, and the last match that I had, it's just been done so well, and I'm really hoping that continues. But I wouldn't be surprised if John Cena gets the win, and he gets it clean just to even the score.
Yeah, it's kind of what happens with Cena feuds. Like the person will win the first few matches or the first match, and then Cena comes back and he's got like this running streak, and he'll just beat them a few times, and then the feud will finish. Yeah. And just hope this isn't another case of that.
Well, that's exactly what we're kind of seeing with Rusev as well, where Rusev got the win, and then Cena just totally overturned that and went on a streak of his own. So it wouldn't surprise us to see that, but I think in terms of the future of this, it seems to be something that they're planning long term. So I would prefer to see Owens win this. I don't know if he would win it clean again. Like, maybe it might be a bit of a dusty finish.
Would you have it in a draw, per se, or would you have someone, like, come out on top?
I think a draw might actually work. Do you mean, like, if they sort of just lose control and it just sort of breaks down
like
at that
a total
point?
brawl.
I think that would be good. I think that would be a good way to carry it into the next one.
That's what I expected for the first match. I thought it was going to break down and there'd be all hell, but...
That was kind of my prediction for the first one, because I thought it would be more of a brawl than a wrestling match, and that would probably lead to Cena getting the win via DQ. But I think this time, because we're seeing Owens like win clean last time, I would love to see them go down that route again, and just make it as, you know, Owens is saying that he's the veteran, because he's been doing this longer than Cena.
That is so good.
It's a great way. I'm so glad that they've actually done that, and they've like acknowledged all his history. Although it does kind of bug us at the same time how they say it was his first match in WWE. So I think if they do that and he wins clean, I think that'll be a great way to do it, and just progress, like saying, you know, John Cena can't beat me.
Yeah, the only thing is though, if they set him too high, like him coming in, like you just said, it's his first match and he's won John Cena, I just don't want him to go too far and then have so far to fall as well.
That's a good point. It's how much do you build him up? Because where does he go from Cena? Are you willing to put him in the title picture, or is he going to have to drop down from there? So it's a good question, I think, at that point.
And then what happens in NXT? Because surely, if he's going to end up being on the main roster, he's going to have to lose the NXT title at some point. And however he's going to do that, if he vacates or whatever, that in itself could damage his feud with Cena, or depends on where he goes.
It could, yeah. Like, I think the plan at the minute is the deal that he signed on the main roster, that is alongside NXT. So as far as I'm aware, he's going to be in there for another 2 months or so. So he'll still be defending the title, but there will be a point where he's either going to lose that or he's going to have to vacate it and move up the main roster.
Hopefully he does vacate it, because the loss would quite possibly hurt him more than anything.
Hopefully. I think that's probably the best way to go about it. Do you think after he teased the package pile driver we might see that?
I really want to see it, but I don't know if I want to see it yet.
I think I feel the same, actually. When he teased it, I was like, oh my god, he's going for it. Like, he hit every other move on the planet, and then he teased that one, and it was like, oh man, that would have been so good. But I think it's probably right to save it. So, like, even if Cena wins this, like, a third match, if he pulls that out for the win, I think everyone will just go absolutely nuts.
Which is the next pay-per-view? It's not SummerSlam, is it?
I don't know what the next one is, but SummerSlam will be August, so that'll be the one after.
Because I wouldn't mind him holding that move until something like SummerSlam. Usually I don't like seeing feuds going on so long, but I think that'd be perfect. Like, have SummerSlam, it's the second biggest pay-per-view, and have that as like the final destination for Cena and Owens.
Yeah, I think that's like, it's a big pay-per-view, so it'll be really cool to see Owens get a big match on that card. And I think if that was the final encounter and he pulled out that for the win, that would just be an absolutely epic moment. It's
definitely main event material as well. That was actually probably, I really loved the tag team elimination, but that Cena and Owens match, it was perfection basically, and that felt more of a main event than our main event we got.
The one that you totally forgot.
Yeah,
Seth Rollins and Dean Ambrose.
Yeah, oh yeah, with a screwy finish, yeah.
Yeah. Well, I think that was the case. I mentioned this on We Talk as well, and it kind of felt like, you know, when Brock defeated The Undertaker, and
yeah,
the matches after that, you kind of lost interest because you were still
totally
on a sort of bit of a shock from what actually happened. I think that's how I felt after the Cena and Owens match, because I didn't expect the finish that we got. So it kind of just let us sort of overlook the matches after that, and I didn't really take too much notice of them. So that was really the main event for me. And then this time around, I think it's the same thing, but depending on where it is in the card, we've also got some other great matches. We've got the Money in the Bank match, and even the main event match, like, it's a ladder match, so you'd expect them to be sort of quite separate on the card.
Yeah.
So it's going to be weird to see how they actually place these matches.
Yeah, because it could be damaging to the Money in the Bank if it is after that match.
Yeah, I think so. I think, surprisingly, I think Money in the Bank might be early on the card, and we'll get.
I wouldn't be surprised if it was first.
Yeah, I could actually see it being the first match on the card.
Especially because there's another ladder match, that'd be a great way to start and a great way to finish.
It would be a great way to do it. I think that's probably what you have to do, really separate the two of them.
Yeah.
So, what is your prediction for this match?
Oh, it's really a tough one to call.
It's a hard one. It's one of the hardest on the card.
It's mainly because I've seen his streak, though, more than anything. I'm going to go with Owens again. Hopefully he can just beat the living crap out of Cena.
I hope so. I'm going to go Owens too on this. So hopefully it's 2-0 to Kevin Owens by the end of the night.
Are you sure you're not just copying off like my predictions because you want to get this like clean sweep?
Well, even if I do, I think we've got one different. So one always going to be right and the other one's going to be wrong. So we'll have to see how it goes. It'll be a bit of a head-to-head. Okay, the next match, it's the one that the pay-per-view is named after. We've got the Money in the Bank match. So this features Neville, Sheamus, Randy Orton, Kane, Dolph Ziggler, Kofi Kingston, and Roman Reigns. So we're heading into this match after a 6-man tag on SmackDown, and that seen Ziggler also come down to ringside, so we had all 7 participants. And I don't know, does 7 seem weird? Do you expect it to be like an even number for this?
To be honest, it never really occurred to me, really.
Like, I've
in
always
this type
thought
of match, numbers don't, for all they always say numbers matter and they have all that statistic thing going on. It kind of doesn't matter because when it always comes to the final, it's always between 2. So...
Yeah, it makes sense like that. And then, if we take them 7, we've also got 2 extra with New Day. So there's going to be like 9 people in this match altogether.
I also think Rusev and Lana will play some sort of part to cost Dolph it.
I think that's going to be the case. I think we're seeing Lana on Raw, where Rusev come out and distracted her and she fell off and hurt her ankle. So, I don't know how it's going to play into the match, but I wouldn't be surprised to see Rusev come down with these crutches and just try and, I don't know, maybe hit Dolph with them while he's on the ladder, something like that.
Yeah, I definitely there's going to be something with Dolph and Elle ladder. If Lana was some sort of heel, I would have expected her to go up the ladder like we've seen in the past with managers and stuff. But I can't see them going that way. I just think Rusev's probably going to turn up and cause a bit of havoc and leave with Lana or something.
I think so. I think they'll be involved at some point, but I don't know about if she'll leave with them. Like, they had
I don't mean together, I mean like dragging or something.
Yeah, like he just takes her away and it kind of distracts Dolph.
Yeah.
Yeah, I think that might be like a good way to go with it. Like, because I think it was on SmackDown they had like the Michael Cole interview with Lana, and Rusev come in and kind of asked her to, I can't remember what he said, but it was something
he wanted
like,
her to submit or something.
Yeah,
to him.
he wanted to submit to her, and it was like she kind of just showed that she was embracing Dolph and how different he was, because he actually he cared for her and they did different things. They read books together. It was just a different side of Lana, so I think they're going to stick with that. I can't say I ever going back to Rusev at this point, although I did actually really like her with Rusev.
Yeah, Rusev and Lana was the freshest thing in WWE for years. I just hope to God they don't make her American in some sort of spy that was rumoured. That was awful.
That would be a terrible, terrible way to go about it. I'm sure they're going to try and do something, though, at some point. But
yeah.
Our Russian accent is so good.
It really is. I like when you listen to her do American, her American seems kind of phony.
Well,
when you listen to her in Russian.
If you're going to be so used to her being Russian, when she does speak American, it's going to sound so weird, and you'll be thinking that that's the accent that she's actually putting on.
And that's the thing as well, having Lana as Russian, it makes her stand out from everyone, and she is really good on the mic, so just keep her as she is. Yeah,
totally. I totally agree with that. And I think she is someone that should always be used in this kind of manager role, maybe even a GM role. But I don't really want to see her get in the ring. I think she's something different, and I would rather that she stays that way.
Yeah, me too.
So, aside from Ziggler, with these other participants in the match, is there any standout ones that you think have got a good chance?
I'd say Neville stands out, but I don't quite think he'll win it just yet.
But he ended SmackDown on like top of the ladder, getting the briefcase, so he closed the show. So that was kind of surprising to see. I think he's come so far in such a short time, but I think
he really has.
Maybe this is too soon.
Yeah, I totally agree. I think that's kind of why they give him that thing on SmackDown, because WWE tend to like give the person who's not going to win like that starring role, and then they usually lose.
Yeah, just to kind of make you think that that's how they're going to go. So yeah, I could totally see that. I think he's in there more for his sort of high flying ability. So it'll be interesting to see what he pulls off with the ladders. And then on the same note, we've got Kofi in there, who always seems to pull off something crazy. So I have no idea what to expect from Kofi, but I'm sure it'll be something amazing.
Kofi's just in there for the spots, and I really don't mind that. It's the same with the Royal Rumble. He always shines. And it's a shame that we all know he's not going to pick up the briefcase, but at least he'll be entertaining.
Well, that's the thing. He's so good, and the spots that he pulls off, they're always like the memorable moments that you remember from the matches. But it does it makes you kind of sad for him in a way that he's in there only for those moments, and he doesn't actually seem to have much of a chance. Although he could totally get the briefcase and prove her wrong, but I can't really see it happening. I think it's going to be maybe out of Sheamus, Orton, and Roman Reigns.
I decided to go with Sheamus. I think Sheamus is the best out of the three.
Well, I think it'd be something that'd be really good for Sheamus. The only thing I kind of hope it's not is Kane. I think that would be absolutely awful. Yeah. I've been so sick of seeing him on Raw with Rollins and the kind of bickering between the two. And if he was to win Money in the Bank and it goes back to that, that's just something I could totally do without. So I would rather it be someone like Sheamus. I don't think Orton needs it. I think he's so many time world champion already. At least with Sheamus, it gives him that sort of, the Money in the Bank to just propel him into the main event at some point. They don't have to do it just yet, but you can always wait and do it at a later date.
You think Sheamus, out of the lot of them, apart from Kofi and Neville, I think Sheamus is the one who literally kind of needs it the most. Orton, Reigns have got their point in the roster and stuff, and they kind of don't need it because they're already in title feeds and stuff, but I don't know, it just feels like it's Sheamus' time to propel himself.
I think so. I think with Reigns, I could see him winning it, but when you think he's already won the Royal Rumble, I don't know, I think this might be too much to give him this as well. Although it would make sense if Seth was then looking over his back for a former Shield member that could cash in on him.
Oh, God, no.
But
not again.
Well, that's the thing. Like, it's something that we've seen. So I think Sheamus, it's fresh. It's something different. And I've loved Sheamus since he come back. He's just got that new look, and he's much more physical in the ring. So I think Sheamus would be a good fit for it.
He's also a really good heel.
He is. He's a much better heel as well. So I think if Sheamus wins it, then it could lead to some good matches. I think this could be a good opportunity for him to cash in later down the line.
He doesn't necessarily have to go on at first Rollins as well. It could go till next year near enough.
Well, that's the thing. Like, I think in terms of the future, Rollins as the champion, when Brock returns, I think that's next month.
Oh, God, yeah.
Actually, saying that, I don't know for the pay-per-view next month, but I'm sure we've got like a live show in Japan, what Lesnar's actually on the card for. So I can see Lesnar and Rollins having a match. I think that's ready-made. So that kind of gives away my prediction for the next match. But I think going past that, Sheamus against like anyone, I think there's a lot of good people that could come in against and make for a good match.
Yeah, I totally agree, Sheamus. You could kind of partner Sheamus with anyone. Some of the others would probably be a bit boring because of the match styles and stuff, but I don't know. I could really get behind Sheamus.
Yeah, I think so. I think my prediction then, it's going to be the same as yours in this. We're going Sheamus.
Oh, surprise, just because I said it.
I'll go with the next. I've already told you my prediction for the next one, so I'm sure
yeah,
you'll copy
I've
that.
already got mine wrote down, so...
well, don't just give it away just yet. So we'll move on to the final match on the card. It's the main event. It's for the WWE Championship as Seth Rollins defends his title against Dean Ambrose, who's actually in possession of the title. Although he's kind of in possession. I say that because on SmackDown he'd actually come out and says that he forgot where he put it. So he had a fake title with him. So hopefully he remembers where he put it and he shows up with it on Sunday. But I don't think he'll be leaving with it.
No, neither do I. I don't think it's the right time for Ambrose. There's still something a little bit missing for me. I don't know what.
Well, that's the thing. I think last time when people sort of thought that he won it, there was such a good reaction to it. And I thought it was the wrong time. But when I seen it happen, I thought maybe it is the right time because everyone just seemed to be like so amazed that he'd won it. And I don't know if that was that they were kind of getting sick of Rollins at the same time. But then when you seen that the decision was reversed, it was like, oh, so Rollins is still the champion. So I would prefer Ambrose to win it, but I don't know what it is with Ambrose. Like, I'm a really big Ambrose fan, but I don't like the whole lunatic thing. I think it can get a bit tiring when they do it every single week, and it's like, what wacky things are you going to get up to this time?
People are starting to like lumber him as well with this new like Steve Austin type thing, and I don't think that's helping him. I want him to be like his own person, and I don't know, there's just something really lacking and I can't put my finger on what it is.
Well, that is the thing as well, like, giving him that comparison, it's a lot of pressure. I mean, you're saying he's the biggest he's got to live up to being the biggest star of that Attitude Era, and it's like, that's a lot of pressure to put on someone when you don't know how it's going to go out. It's not all down to Ambrose either, it's how he's booked. And I think in the past, that's something that's really hurt him, because he didn't have wins on pay-per-views for months and months on end. So all of a sudden he's changed that round, and now he's walking around with the title, but I don't know if it's going to be a case of him actually winning the title. I think that might be a little further down the line at this point.
The only other thing that could happen is Brock Lesnar could turn up and just demolish everyone.
That would be a really good way to book it, actually.
Maybe he might steal the title. Everyone else is stealing it, so why not?
Well, everyone seems to be doing it. We've had it with the Intercontinental title as well. Like, I'm sure Ambrose stole Money in the Bank briefcase last time as well. So everyone's stealing everything at the minute. So that really wouldn't surprise us. I'd actually really like to see that. So if Brock just comes in, just takes the title and then goes off with it, which is something we've seen before. But this time, like, he'll be back next month. So it'll be a good way to kind of set up that match between him and Rollins. And then I don't know if they would put Ambrose in the match as well, because they've had like a couple of triple threat matches with Brock, and they've always worked out as being like pretty good matches, what I thought. So I wouldn't really mind that, but I think Rollins and Lesnar is something that's ready made, so I can definitely see that happening. But I don't know if it'll happen in the live event in Japan or if we'll save it for SummerSlam.
Yeah, because they're kind of making a big thing out of this Japan thing. Like, it's like another pay-per-view. I don't know.
It's going to be interesting to see what I do with it, but I think I'm looking forward to it. The only other thing I could see maybe happening is if Ambrose was to win it, then it'd be a case of J&J coming down to try and help, but that accidentally cost him the match somehow.
Yeah.
So I think that would be like quite a good way to do it if they did that, but I cannot see Rollins dropping it at this point. So that's going to be my prediction. Are you going to copy us?
I had it first. I had it wrote down.
Sure you did.
Yeah, I don't think Ambrose is ready. Don't get me wrong, I think when he does become champion, he will be great. I was kind of like that with Rollins, and I really liked Rollins as champ for the first few months, and now it's getting a bit same old. So, who knows, maybe Ambrose could win and change it, but I think for this pay-per-view, I think we're going to leave with Rollins still champ.
Yeah, I think so. I think I would love to see Ambrose win it just to bring something different, and I think that's something that was said for the Divas as well. And it's something you need every once in a while. You don't want everyone having such a long reign. Maybe, like, even if Ambrose wins it and then he loses it on Raw, I think even something like that, just it gives it a bit of change. So I would be happy with that. But like you say, I think this has got to be a win for Rollins.
Totally.
Cool. Well, that wraps up all the matches for Money in the Bank, but let us know your predictions in the comments. And if you'd like to submit predictions, then you can head over to smacktalks.org/predictions, and then I'll post the results on Monday morning. Elle, have you got anything that you'd like to plug?
This weekend I've got my Money in the Bank through the year simulations. I've got my Divas match simulations. And then on my website, www.RevELLEution.co.uk, I'll be doing my write-up of pay-per-view predictions, just so I've got a bit more oomph in it.
Cool.
But yeah, that's pretty much it, I think, from my end.
Well, I'll make sure to check those out, and we'll also leave links in the description so you can jump straight to them. Also, me and Elle's been recording some Minecraft series as of late. So the first series that we're doing with Ghostplay, who you'll also know as Tom, that's up on both our channels at the minute. So you can catch that over on Elle's channel with her view. It's on Tom's channel with his view, and you can catch it on my secondary channel at Smacktalks X. So that's on there. That's going pretty well. We've got one episode up so far. We've got quite a few planned, and I think that's been really cool. It's been good to get something different. It's kind of like we've been saying all night, that it's something different and fresh. So it's good to get that in terms of games as well. So if you fancy checking that out, I would highly suggest that you head over to both of our channels and check those out. Also,
if you want to see you making an idiot for yourself as well, then even more reason to tune in.
Well, I wasn't going to bring that up, but yeah, I'm a bit of a noob to Minecraft, so yeah, I think I may have struggled. You'll probably notice that just a little bit if you watch one of my videos.
A bit of an understatement.
Yeah, it is. It's a big understatement. Thanks for bringing that up, Elle. So, yeah, check that out. You can see how much of a noob I am, and then check out Elle's, and you can see how she is a total pro, and it is a completely contrastive style. So I think it works pretty well. And then we've also got Tom in there as well, so you can check out his version. Aside from that, on the Smacktalks channel, the Beat the Clock is returning. Elle's going to be going up and trying to beat my undefeated streak. How are you feeling about that? Are you feeling confident?
Confident, totally.
You sound confident. I'm quite surprised.
Well, come on, if you judge by our past matches and stuff, 9 times out of 10 I win anyway, so it's just a matter of doing it quicker than usual.
9 times out of 10?
Yeah, totally.
I would say we're 50-50.
Yeah, but you probably just didn't upload the ones where I beat you all the time.
I have no idea what you're talking about. So yeah, this is a new game. It's completely different. It's a fresh start. It's the first match once in a lifetime. So yeah, I think you're losing.
Yeah, hold that confidence for a little bit.
Well, I've buried everyone so far, so I think I'll have to add your name to that leaderboard too.
Oh, bring it on.
Right, well, let's see how that goes. Check that out on the channel. I think that'll either be up later today or Sunday, so make sure to check that out. Check out the stuff on Elle's channel as well. I'll leave links to all those things in the description. Aside from that, is there anything else?
No, I just hope everyone enjoys Money in the Bank and tries not to intimidate me too much on Twitter if I have some sort of comment on Alicia Fox's hair.
Hopefully. Can't happen again, can it?
No.
Well, I think that wraps up this preview and predictions. I hope you all enjoy Money in the Bank. Elle, do you want to sign out?
I'll speak to you later.
Until next time, catch you later.